So last video I read a paragraph which I'm going to share again, but my focus was how to live the most fulfilled life you possibly can. And I want to speak to you coming from my age, from the years that I've lived and what I've learned. Last time I spoke about how important keeping your eyes on the prize is, really knowing what the vision is of who you want to be and never letting that go, pursuing it, going for it. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more about what do you do when the challenges come up? How do you actually, what are the steps to actually get there? There are steps to make your vision stronger and more inspiring for you. But how do you actually get there when things are difficult? So for 13 years, I did tax returns for a living. But not too long after that, I got to spend the next 30 in a cabin on a spit of land jutting out into a lake. I called it Serenity Point, and the lake was Spectacle Pond. How did I get here? I kept my eyes on the prize. So what happened during those 13 years of doing tax returns? I mean, they were hard. They were difficult. There were 80-hour days at times. There were, like 8-day weeks, basically. Certainly during tax season. But there was something cool about that as well that helped me be aware that I was headed somewhere. I lived very simply. So in the early days, doing those tax returns, I only worked a few months out of the year. They were difficult, they were tough months. But the rest of the year, I could pursue what it is that I felt was most important in my life. And for me, that had more to do with creativity and spirit, probably, than anything. So those sacrifices of several months of really insane work with mental activity like this all the time were worth it. And I would remind myself periodically during those days, I'm doing this for a reason. And come the end of tax season, this is where I'm going and this is who I'm going to be. And over time, over that 13 years, what happened was when you're good at taxes, it turns out people want you in the off season. They want you to extend their returns. So I ended up over the years eventually working all the way through October, going through the last extension that the IRS allowed my clients. And then there were things I could do in the 2 months that separated October, 2 or 3 months that separated October from the next tax season. So when it got that it was too much, that I knew I was not able to live a vital life in some free time, in significant free time, I'd cut back and I'd raise my rates. So I discouraged some people from returning in some way. I mean, I love my clients, but you have to take care of yourself first. And and so that work, I was constantly accumulating skills, financial skills, practical skills, being on the computer, or in those days it was the adding machine, knowing the world of money. So I was adding things to my practical skills that would help me get here. So that's a very useful way to think of all the things that you're doing in order to get to where it is that you really want to get to. Keep your eyes on the prize, but build the skills that you need as you're going there.